But I wanted to go back to that time when you were in dentistry or in school.
Yep.
Because you were also in the military.
Right.
At that same time.
Right.
Right. And the Air Force.
Correct.
The Air Force, yeah. So can you, there's a picture in the office here of you in front of a fighter jet in your flight uniform. Looks so much like Tom Cruise. I mean, that's who you remind me of. We were talking about that this morning, how much, plastic surgery that Tom Cruise has had. Tom Cruise and I are the same age. And that you, like you're a younger version of Tom Cruise who doesn't dye his hair and looks amazing with silver hair. I mean, you really have that Hollywood look about you. But when people see that, and so could you tell the story of how you were sort of deciding between careers, which career you would go?
Yeah, so I was a private pilot, learned to fly during dental school. There's a window where you need to get into pilot training before 26 and a half years old. Oh. It might be 27 years old now. So I needed to decide if I want to pursue this dream of fighter aviation. And so I decided to go for it. I finished dental school, became board certified, and then got my license to practice dentistry before going off to Air Force pilot training. So it's a little bit different. I mean, most of the dentist pilots that I knew were Vietnam vets that came back from war, and then they went to dental school. So that a long time ago, they were pilots. My goal was to be a pilot 1 day a week, and then be a dentist 3 days a week, or 4 days a week. So do it concurrently. What I hadn't figured out is that just the intensity of both careers. Especially fighter pilots' task limit had to go from level 8 to like level 10 or level 11. So I basically learned my Peter principle, which is you get promoted to a level of incompetence.
Right.
Right? And then you go down one level, and that's where you stay in the professional world. That's called the Peter principle.
Right.
And so I had to go and just kind of find my level of incompetence. And so I was in a room full of cadets competing with students. I was a little bit older because I was already a graduate of dental school.
So it was like the Tom Cruise scenario in that movie.
Yeah, just
right?
like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the room became a little bit smarter, and better looking and stronger and maybe a little bit sharper, both in language and in mental acuity. And the speed just kept going. It would be like similar to like chess, there'd be like chess students in high school.
Yeah.
And then college, and then graduate school, and then the world champion chess players.
Right.
And they're not as nice as the high school chess coach,
Right. Very competitive.
Yeah. And so I got to go through that. And I think that really shaped me, on a professional level. But, I also need to smooth out those rough edges, through communication, because I can be short or just my body language. I would say that if I were to focus on my weaknesses, they would be like softening my body language when I'm frustrated or tired or hungry, So, yeah, and that is probably because I'm thinking about 6 different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so I've learned that I'm really good one-on-one.
You are.
I'm probably an introvert because
yes, you are.
Right? I mean,
yes,
the definition of introvert versus extrovert, I think, has changed for me over the time. My understanding of it was I used to think that it was introvert doesn't like people at all.
Yeah. Yes,
but
right.
I think that that's not true. That introvert is really good one-on-one. An extrovert feels more comfortable with a group of 20 or more people. They love to have big groups.
Yeah.
An introvert enjoys more one-on-one. So, and I think our culture encourages everyone to become an extrovert, right? And so introverts are not encouraged perhaps in school, like maybe they should be, but my definition of introvert and extrovert has kind of like changed a little bit. Right?
Well, your chair-side manner, I guess that's what we would call it in dentistry versus bedside manner, is incredible.
Thank you.
Your eye contact, you're calm, you add some humor, and the way you describe things. For example, last time I was in, we were talking about recession. I was asking you, why is it that my gums keep receding? Like it's driving me crazy, and I'm worried that when I get to 80, that my teeth are going to look like skeleton teeth, or they're going to fall out, or something like that, you know? And you said, have you ever heard that phrase, long in the tooth?
Right.
Yes. And then you just looked at me, and I'm like, oh, that's where that came from, right? These people back in, let's say, England without dental care, and as you get older, your teeth get longer because your gums get shorter.
Right.
And since you're sharing that with me, I've shared that with so many people. You know that phrase, long in the tooth? You know where that came from? My dentist told me.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's like, oh, I never knew that. That makes total sense. So you make me smarter.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a great phrase. It kind of describes what's going on for some people. And